Remember the last time we made these stale bread dumplings? Today we're gonna make the dish that really needs those dumplings. It's a simple lentil dish from Austria. It's regular brown lentils with a couple of herbs and bay, and very much not traditional, a little bit of miso because it gives a good flavor. This comes together real quick. You have to soak those lentils overnight, so these guys are soaked for at least 12 hours, which makes the cooking process really quick. Let's dig right in. The only prep work I have to do is cut up my bacon. This is a cured pork jowl, but regular bacon will do just fine. Let's add our lentils to a bowl of water. No salt, and I'm adding bay leaves, thyme sprigs and some marjoram. Boil it until the lentils are done. That shouldn't take long since you soaked them for so long. While our lentils are cooking, we're gonna prep the bacon real quick. Ideally you would get a piece of bacon or get the really thick sliced one because you want crispy bacon bits. So I'm cutting this fairly thick. That's about, let's say, 1/4 of an inch. And you don't want to skimp on the bacon. All right, I think this will do for the amount of lentils I have. Now let's just cut this into little cubes. That's all there is to the prep work. The lentils are cooking. I'm going to just push them aside and get another pot on. And this needs to be a pot, not a pan, because that's where we're actually going to cook the dish in. And you just put the bacon in. It's fatty enough, you don't need any fat or anything, just put it into a dry pan, medium to high heat. Once it starts rendering, go down a little bit lower, you don't want to burn them, and that's it. Okay, this is as brown as I want those bacon bits to be. So we're gonna extract them onto a plate, and I'm trying to keep the fat in the pan. You could use like a slotted spoon for this, of course. Look at those nice crisp bacon bits. Now leave the pan on, add a little bit of butter, and now add your onions. Remember, there's no salt on those lentils. Get the herbs out and pour this through a sieve. Here are my lentils. Once the onions are good and translucent, add the tomato paste. Hey, this is looking good. Now it's time to add some garlic. You could use a microplane to grate it in. I'm just using a garlic press. From here on, pay attention to not burn the garlic. You don't want burnt garlic, that's just bitter. Now it's time to add some mustard. Spoonful is good. Stir that in. Add some flour. You want this to thicken up. Probably a tablespoon's worth for this amount. Add some broth. I have the recipe down there for 4 portions. This is just more of a 1 to 2 portion. Now you can think about whether you want little bits and pieces from the onions in there, or whether you want it completely smooth. If you want the later, just use like a stick blender and blend it through. I'm fine with onions in there, so I don't mind that. Put in your lentils. While this is cooking, I'd like to remind you to subscribe. And of course, a thumbs up and a comment is always appreciated. And now here comes all the good stuff. Add some capers. They not only provide flavor, they also bring in acidity, which is always good. And what I like to do is a little nub of miso. Miso adds a little bit of umami flavor to it. Return the bacon bits. This dish is nothing without semmelknödel. If you want to know how to make those, I'll put a link up there. Let's sample this. Yeah, I wouldn't add any salt. This is salty enough. There, I've chopped up some of those dumplings. And what we're going to do is just roast them in the butter. There, nice golden brown. That's what we want to see. Put some of those lentils down. Top it off with a couple slices of the dumplings. Add a little bit of parsley. And there you go.